This is a tour of the DP24 and 32 SD machines, or portastudios. It's aimed at the novice, but it looks at things from a signal perspective, how they get from A to B, so may need some patience as it spans several videos. On the plus side, you may find out some things you'd not realised before. I'm using a DP32 SD with firmware version 1.01 06, but both the 32 and 24 models are very similar. These machines comprise a mixer and multi-track recorder all in one box, so can be quite complex to get your head round. You see all these lovely controls and menus, but the way they are linked may be not so clear. For example, I press play and see the meter bars moving, but these faders seem to have no effect. If I go to the effects screen and I turn this reverb on, why are all the others on? The user manual and confusing terminology are one thing, but like a lot of things nowadays, there's an internal computer, which means limits on how many things it can process. So its behaviour can be non-intuitive at times. I'm going to start this series with what I think is the beginning and show how to use the machine as a live mixer. First a basic one, then with effects, and then a more complex one using these track faders. And you're probably tempted to switch off now as you just want to get stuck into recording, but you run the risk of literally getting stuck in recording. Using it as just a mixer will cover more of the machine than you think, without getting bogged down with the recording process. You'll then be familiar with a lot of the functions that you will need later for recording and mix down. Now, if you've seen any of my posts on the Tascam forum, you'll know I keep banging on about how useful the block diagram is. It's at the back of the manual, so you won't be surprised if I do the same here. But before you glaze over, it's nowhere near as complicated as a traditional circuit diagram. Now, I would normally draw pictures to explain things, but they're already here in the block diagram. So I put it to you, if you can read a subway or tube map, or follow a chord sheet or guitar tab, you should be able to follow this, or at least give it a shot. And as Crocodile Dundee may have said, call that a diagram, this is a diagram. And just before we start, one feature or quirk with these machines is that whenever you create a new song, the settings from the current song are carried forwards into the new one. If we go to menu, pick song, and create, this new song, song 002, will contain all the settings from the earlier one. Now, this can result in unexpected things such as levels being too low or reverb or other effects appearing. So if you want to follow along, I'd recommend you reset the machine to a known state. And the next video shows a quick way of doing this. So see you there.